Once the player has completed the training level for exploring the EDC, which is called playing the game, they see this short cutscene animation which sets up the story of the game. This will need to be created in a multiplayer environment with other players taking the part of the other characters. In this scene we have the character's boss, Bill, and their rival, Penny Perfect. The rival character is used to set up competition in the game as a motivator. The story is told both with audio and simultaneous text which appears at the bottom of the screen as subtitles. The story that's being set up here is that the character and their rival, Penny Perfect, have both been given the job of teaching a particular subject, history of OH&S, and the person who gets the greatest pass rate from their students is a shoo-in to win the Teacher of the Year award. So this means that there is a goal and there is a reward at the end, which also acts as a motivator. After the introductory movie, the player is advised to speak to the subject's previous teacher to look at their notes. The previous teacher asks them to complete a simple task which is designed to familiarise the player with the physical location of the FLS office and people in it. The player can choose whether or not they accept this mission or just freely roam the game space. If they accept it, there's a timer which will appear at the top of the screen, which gives them 5 minutes to go to the FLS office and return with the DVD. If the player doesn't meet the time limit, they're returned to the starting point. This element adds rules and challenge to the game. This is a point in the middle of the first task which provides information that the player needs for a question which has to be answered at the end of the task. As you can see, the timer is going down and the character invites the player to return to speak further about the services that he provides before encouraging the player to finish the task. Once the player gets to the end of the task, within the time limit, the clock stops. They still have to answer a question though, based on the information gathered in the task. This gets more complex as the tasks do, and grows to involve questions about information in written material as well as that spoken by the characters. After the player has successfully completed the first task, they're given positive feedback and their student pass rate score increases. The character then explains that the player can freely explore the FLS office and learn more about options to enhance their teaching by accessing resources or speaking to FLS characters. They can also access the FLS website by sitting at any computer in the game. This website replicates the existing FLS site and has all of the FLS resources available. The FLS website that the player can access in the game is a complete working replica of the real-world FLS website and contains a wide range of resources including how-to guides, examples of innovative teaching practice, contact details for FLS team members, and useful tools. From time to time, when the player returns to their office, short cutscene movies play featuring their rival, who brags about the progress she's making in improving her student pass rate. She drops hints about other characters to speak to trigger new tasks. These tasks can also be accessed simply by interacting with other teachers in the player's department. As the player progresses through the game, the tasks get more complex. This task requires the player to speak to 2 other FLS characters and obtain objects from them before they can speak to this character to complete the task. Rather than having a time limit, the player now has a tally of the objects that are required. This is an example of the kind of resources that are available to the player in the free play or non-task based mode. The player is able to move through the FLS office space, and by moving close to these objects, which are colour and icon coded to represent the different specialisations in FLS, can trigger image and video files with information about that particular area. The game ends when the player has reached the 80% target set at the beginning of the game. This triggers a cutscene animation of them receiving the Teacher of the Year award.